Hello, my loves, and welcome back. So, I thought I'd come on with a more open, open, uh, open container. I haven't had one of my coffee talks in quite some time, so I've got my coffee here, but it's too hot to drink yet. Perfect. Perfect. So that I can just talk 40 minutes and then it's cold and then I have to make a new one. No, I try to remember drinking my coffee this time. So yeah, I felt like coming on with a more, I hear casual message. Yeah, it's been really heavy. Like the energy has been so heavy over the last few weeks. Not gonna lie, like also in my own life. So I haven't been recording a lot. For those of you who've seen my last messages, I'm still staying with my mom. Not much longer though. In a bit less than a week, I will be finally going south. I will be on a train towards Italy and finally starting my travels. I had a lot going on here. I still had so much stuff to work through and sort through. And so it all took a bit longer than what I expected. But yeah, so now there's a light at the end of the tunnel and soon I will get going and I'm really looking forward to that. Anyways, yeah, the energy was quite hard to work through. I think a lot of that was from a personal stuff, but I could tell that there was also a lot going on in the collective and it was not just me. I regularly checked in if there was something I wanted to bring through for you. And yes, I mean, there have been a few videos that I uploaded and posted, but yeah, there was just too much rearranging itself, like in my own life. And I can already say that regarding future content, there will be a few, not really changes, but I mean, just because I will be traveling, so I'm sure there will be more content just happening when I'm out and about, when I'm exploring, discovering new places. And yeah, so I think you will see a bit more of that. I just love, this is like a huge part of my personal spiritual work, just go places, connect in. And I would love to channel more of the energy of all of those places, also for the collective, for you, and to bring those energies through to you, because it's a great way to connect with places that I get to travel, and I have the honor and this great gift of being able to do that. And yeah, so I would love to just bring forward more of those energies to you as well, who are just too far away to go to Italy, for example, or you just don't have the opportunity or the means to do that. So yeah, I would love to share that with you, and to just hopefully that the whole collective can benefit from that. That is one thing, and the other thing is I want to try to do again like more of those more casual coffee talks. I'm calling them coffee talks because I just love my coffee and I love chatting over coffee. So yeah, I keep saying that on this channel, and then I start doing them, and then I kind of forget again and just get back into like doing those readings. And I love doing readings, don't get me wrong, I love doing readings, but sometimes I can tell when I'm doing like too many of those, it gets too heavy, and I'm just I need to mix it up a bit. And there's really a form of new content that will be coming in. I'm not saying more now. I think not. No, I don't think so. But yeah, I'm quite curious myself, and I'm happy to see where this is going and what we can do with that. So I have some new ideas, but I feel like this is something that I will be exploring further when I'm finally leaving this place here and go traveling. So yeah, that's from me. Enough from me for now. Yeah, so while starting to prepare for here, like the recording a new message, there already was something coming through, a few things. And actually they are a bit related to what I was just talking about, like, like this new stuff happening. Also, I have a new microphone, a new beautiful addition to my outfit. So yeah, because I will be traveling, I need a new microphone. Like my microphone is, it's good, but it's huge, so I can't take it with me. So yeah, I have a new laptop. There's like all this new additional stuff that I've been switching out, actually, because my technology is decades old. Well, not decades maybe, but I'm that kind of person who just uses their phone and laptop and all of it until certain programs are not being renewed, and you are forced to get a new laptop because of you're just like the security is not guaranteed without certain updates. Yeah, so this kind of stuff I've been getting in. So I feel like there is like this energy of an upgrade happening. Pivoting, like I said, with the content on my channel, like it's not that it's entirely wrong what I've been doing, but I feel like I need to mix it up a bit to to also follow certain things that I've been doing before and that I actually like, but I, for one reason or another, didn't follow through completely, or just stopped doing it for some reason. I hear without even knowing why. So like I'm using my examples right now, but just think about this more in like a conceptual way. Like there's something about, maybe you have something in your life as well where you're kind of doing what you want to do, but something just doesn't feel quite right. And then you try to implement something where I feel like, well, maybe this could be something I like better, but then for some reason you don't really follow through with it, or you sliding back in old ways, I hear. And I'm sorry, you just tilted a bit and it's driving me crazy. So yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, right. Like just a bit of adjusting, just a tiny bit. It was just tilted like tiny bit, but it was driving me crazy. It was not quite right. So yeah, maybe something just needs a little bit of readjustment. And okay, so don't pour the child out with the bathwater. So it doesn't mean that it's wrong in its entirety. Just look at it and try to find ways to tweak it a bit. make a few adjustments, just pivot a tiny, tiny bit. And maybe there are new ideas coming in as well, where you can bring a new energy in, like a new idea in, a new product. I hear a new product or product line. Maybe you have a business or something like that, or you're thinking about creating one. But actually, I watched a show with my mom yesterday on TV. And they were talking about a huge candy manufacturer, and that for those huge brands, it's always a lot of work to create a new product. And when they already have a certain product line, that like a certain product that's a huge hit, then they would just feed off of that and create all those like variations of the same product. So like that one was about candy. You won't know it probably, but because it's a German brand. But I'm trying to think about another example. For some reason, I'm thinking about the like sneakers, Chuck's sneakers from Converse. So like you have the basic shoe, the Chuck, like the traditional one, the black one. I think that was like the original one. And then you have like all those different colors, and then you have the special editions with certain patterns on it, or maybe an artist that joins them. Then they have like sometimes the sole, is it called the sole? Is thicker. Like they have certain variations of the same product, and like you can do this like even Snickers, for example. Like you have the Snickers bar, but then they have like the tiny, they are more like little bonbons wrapped up, and you have ice cream. Like you have all those different variations of the same product. So it's less energy, like it's more energy efficient to just take what you already have, it's already working, and then just tweak it a bit, just bring something new in, and you don't always have to introduce a completely new product, but you can just extend one of your products and make a whole product line out of it. So that's interesting that this is coming through. What else is there? Because I'm kind of surprised that I'm talking about that, about product lines now, because there was actually something different when it's about, okay, so in order to get new ideas and new, sometimes we cannot see what needs to be adjusted, where we need to pivot. So we need to change environment, or it can be helpful if we change environment in order to see what is there for us. And I'm sorry because I'm irritated again by the image. I just have to adjust again. I'm so sorry. Because I feel like you're sinking. Not sure. Anyways, so there is the thing about a change of scenery can help a lot. There's something about time. So there's something about the continuity of time, because I hear a clock ticking in the background. And it's this continuous ticking noise of the clock. But there are tiny irregulations in there. It's not complete. Like, we think it's moving in a continuous direction, but it's actually not. And I mean, I'm not a physicist, but I do know that time is not like always running in the same tempo. And that depending on like, also if you like, and I really, I'm sorry, there's something in my head right now that I want to talk about, and it's hard to find words for it. I think there was something about if you like fly once around the globe, then like you gain or lose 3 seconds or something like that. I don't really like, that's just, it's something along those lines, but don't take me too literal here. It's weird. Like, my words are like, it's all a bit confusing. It's all a bit like jumbled. And I have all this stuff rushing in. Okay, so there are like all those ideas rushing in, and it's hard to pick and choose. So what should I do? What should I do with all of this? And also something about time. Now I hear the Muse song, Time's Running Out. So maybe you feel like time is running out. Now I hear Under Pressure. Okay, so I get like all those different songs right now. Oh, okay. So I'm getting something about following creative endeavors, and you feel like, oh, okay, so it's going to take too much time to build something with this. I should have started years ago, maybe, or so if I start now, it will take ages until this, like, it feels like there's someone who actually wants to maybe create a living out of that. Okay. So there's the pivoting coming in. And actually, this ties in with what I said at the beginning, that I have like new ideas coming in. And because I do have certain creative endeavors that I would like to follow, certain ideas, and I also had those thoughts of, well, but for example, like I love writing and I would love to write more, and to write stories, which is something I'm planning to do when I'm traveling. But there's a thing in my head, like, well, if you start writing a book now, it takes some time until this is written. You've never written a book before, so like this is something you have to get used to. And then even if you've written a book, like you need to publish it, you need to advertise it, even if you like do it by yourself, which is of course perfectly possible. But yeah, there's this thing in my head of, well, this takes too much time, and I won't be able to like make a living off of that anytime soon. So what I got actually just this morning was, well, you can use what you have already or what you're doing already and just combine it with this creative thing you want to do, which is writing. And I had ideas about that like months ago, maybe even a year ago, and I already started writing some of those things, and I have ideas how I could combine it with the channel here, for example, and all of you could benefit from it. But I never really followed through on it. And now, like this morning, it just came back, and I was like, wow, maybe I should just do that. And then I can already follow this passion of mine, and it's actually a win-win situation. Not saying that I'm not going to write that book that is in the back of my mind, but it takes away the pressure from it. So there's something about this coming through that maybe like we have this idea like I want to write, and then you immediately think about, oh my God, it has to be like this full-blown book that I'm going to write. Or maybe you're a filmmaker and you're thinking about making short films or stuff like that. And this, of course, is something that takes a lot of resources. And or maybe you're a musician and you think about producing your own album or something like that. And so what I'm getting is that you could be creative and find ways to already use those skills that you have. And actually, also, it's a win-win situation in the sense that you are crafting and training your skills. For me as a writer, when I'm saying, okay, I'm producing something for you here on the channel, and it would be a smaller format, of course, but it's still something where I can just test out different things and just explore certain avenues that I would like exploring. And if you're like the filmmaker, could also maybe start a YouTube channel and do those short films, like even shorter as YouTube episodes, like, I don't know, vlogging or there are so many content creators around filming out there who make great content for YouTube. Or the musician, also, again, maybe creating something for a YouTube audience or finding a cooperation with someone else and doing that. Or maybe just producing single songs and putting them out on a platform like Spotify. Or finding gigs that you could play. Like, I don't know, all kinds of possibilities. Like, there are a million possibilities how you could implement that for yourself. And to be honest, I was just like, in my case, I could see how I could implement it with what's already there, the YouTube channel, for example, and how it could actually benefit from the channel, and the channel could benefit from what my skills are and what I like doing. And I feel like you're sinking again. I'm sorry, you're always seeing my hand today. So there's something about, it might be like this. You might have this idea and then you start doing it and then you're taking out of it a bit. And then you just have to remember to readjust again. It's a natural part of the process, and that you have to check in and see, like, am I still aligned? Am I still on my path? Is this still what I want to do? But what I was just about to say is that for me, like in my case, it was very obvious, not so obvious, but it made sense. Like the moment I got this idea of, oh yeah, right, there was this thing you already, like this idea, this insight you already had like a year ago and you never really followed through on it, but it's actually perfect for what you're doing right now. So why not exploring that further? While the other examples that I gave, they were not very inspired because this is just not my area of expertise. But you can just think about it for yourself, and I'm sure you will find great possibilities to combine something that at first glance maybe doesn't even look like it's supposed to be combined. But like one thing I know about the collective I'm here for is that you all have a broad range of different skills and passions, and that this is part of like the uniqueness and the magic I hear, that just by combining things that might be unusual or haven't been done this way before, just by doing that, you're suddenly creating something that is very uniquely you, that is not limiting you, because that's a huge thing usually for people like us who are multi-passionate, is I don't want to limit myself. And this is why I'm not choosing a path for myself, because I feel like I'm abandoning all the others. And so there is this possibility of, okay, and we need to focus at some point. Like we need to choose one thing at some point in our journey, simply because we need to start somewhere. And then by walking that path and becoming more comfortable by doing that one thing, which for me was doing like the readings here on this channel. And now I can start to implement other things. And I'm sure, like now I'm talking about writing, I'm sure that you will see more of my art, for example, in the future. And I don't know when and how, but I do know that all of those things are meant to come together and be combined and work together. And so yeah, I'm sure that you will find something for yourself where you can do that, and just bringing some fresh energy. Okay, I see like this image in my head of like opening a window and letting fresh air in. And this is bringing me back to the thing about moving out of a place. Sometimes it doesn't have to be like in my case, leaving your entire life behind and just like traveling in a completely different country into a completely different lifestyle. And you are thinking again, I don't know what's going on today. Why doesn't really keep its position? Like you don't have to move. Sometimes it's just the occasional little micro adventure that you take, just a day out in the woods or by the ocean, or just jump in your car or on a train and drive somewhere you've never been before, or maybe a place you've been before and it's always giving you good ideas, or just an energy boost. But yeah, this thing about a change of scenery is very important. I do have some things written down here that came rushing in while I started recording this. Okay, so there's this thing about like this time thing. And I feel like what I wrote down here is all related to this time aspect, because like I said, we feel like, well, it will take too much time. And so this is a limiting belief that we have. And we already talked about one solution to implement whatever you want to do, like the creative endeavor you want to follow, to implement it what's already there, and to like see this as a way to, for one, already do what you want to do. And maybe it doesn't have the fixed form that you thought it has to have. And it's giving you the option to explore. But at the same time, and it's freeing up, like it's, okay, so it's taking away the pressure. And for you, it's easier to believe that way, that the other thing, like writing that book, for example, or making that short film, or producing that album, by allowing this to not exist under this pressure of, oh my God, but this has to be something quickly, it might come about way quicker than what you would have expected. And there's something in there about like mixing up or confusing timelines, crisscrossing timelines. I'm not sure if I want to go into this right now, because it feels like yeah, okay. So, oh, right. Okay. I'm making it more complicated than it is. And there's some confusion energy here, which is doing that. You're sinking again. It's like, that's really weird. Why it doesn't. This readjusting energy. It feels like some kind of advice that this readjusting energy is necessary. Oh, all right. Oh, that's interesting. So I just got that image of this collective. And I'm counting myself as part of this collective. So everything I'm saying is part of my own journey as well. And I can tell you that like most of the things I'm talking about, I'm usually like in the midst of exploring myself. So right there with you in the midst of it. All right. So I saw this image of like really crisscrossing timelines, almost like a grid. It's forming a grid, and it's like a maze. And the only way to get through that maze is to not try to control the path, not to overanalyze, not to try to plan too far ahead, but take one step at a time. And at every crossing, stop, listen, and readjust. And see if the path you're on, like the trajectory you're on, if it's still the thing that you want to do. And if you realize, no, it's not 100% what I want to do, it doesn't mean that you were on the wrong path up until now. It simply means you were on the right path, but now you've maybe learned what you had to learn from it, or it was just necessary for a certain amount of time, or it was just the right thing to do for like that period of time. And now it's a different time and you need to readjust. And again, like, it doesn't mean that you throw everything out the window and start from scratch, but it's more, okay, so we are asked to think more in, okay, how can I pivot? Not how can I reinvent myself completely, but how can I pivot? Again, this thing about don't reinvent the whole product line, but simply think about what branch of that certain product can I maybe open, like can I introduce? And maybe there are certain products that you will take out of your product line because they just don't fit anymore. And so we need to readjust. I'm sorry, you're looking at my hand today a lot. And I think I made it worse. This is crazy. This is really crazy. Not being afraid to also being visible in it. I mean, I could cut this out, of course, but I won't because I never really cut my videos. And yeah, I feel like this is important to stay transparent and to show it as it is, because that's what life is. It's messy. But this is going into a different direction. I want to go back to this crisscrossing of timelines, because this can feel confusing. And the thing is, it feels confusing the moment you try to interfere with the natural flow of things. When you feel the internal impulse to act or to follow a certain idea or insight or whatever, and it comes from a place of joy, a place of joy, excitement, I always want to say alignment, but it's like, if you don't know what alignment feels like, it's easy to like watch out for the ego, to get the ego involved too much in this. And yeah, so they're bringing me back to the confusion energy, because this is what I'm feeling right now. Like, when you try to control it too much or to make it a certain thing, then there's this feeling of confusion coming in, and you cannot see straight anymore. You can't see it clearly anymore. But when you are on the right path, like when you are about to make the right move, it will feel easy. It will flow. And then sometimes it can seem like you are even defying the rules of nature, like time is suddenly moving extremely quickly. It almost feels like making a time jump, and you will be somewhere and you're suddenly like, you're looking around like, how the hell did I get here? I don't even know how I got here. So yeah, there's again like this thing about time not moving in a linear fashion. Sometimes it can be way slowed down and then it can be sped up. And the way to navigate that is in trusting and in stopping, checking in, seeing if there's something that needs to be readjusted, and to simply follow that internal guiding system. And this is a whole new way of living, or like a way of living that is not, that most people on this world are not familiar with. They don't even know that it exists. And if you start doing it, they won't understand. So, okay, so this is bringing me back to the thing about having to leave the environment you are in. Right now, like I said, I'm at my mom's place, and I love my family to pieces. But I also feel like I need to get out of here because they, like on some level, they do understand what I'm doing, but on so many other levels, they don't. And so I've been here for 3 weeks now, I think. And like when I'm leaving, it will be almost like a month that I stayed with my mom. And I know it's time because I can tell that this is limiting my ability to create and live the way I want to. It was okay for the transitional period I was in, and I'm very grateful that I have family that I feel comfortable staying with, comfortable enough staying with. Yeah, like I said, I love them very much, and it doesn't have anything to do with that. It's just that I'm here to live and work in a certain way that is very, very unfamiliar for them and for like the biggest part of the world. And so this is, like I said, like I'm right there with you. This is an exploration. This is finding out how to live their life, how to actually go about this kind of living. I'm calling it soulful living. And it's a never-ending journey. And it's just, yeah, following this internal guiding system and my guides, which can be perceived as an external guiding system, but actually it's like, for me, my worldview, my understanding, it's not. They're all part of me. So it's, yeah, living and working in a different way. And by that, we are actually forging new paths that could change the world. And I know this sounds maybe a bit over the top, but actually it's true. If more and more people learn to live in that way, this whole world will be a completely different place. So yeah, I feel like this is complete for now. We will be talking a lot more on this channel about this, because this is actually what I want this to be about, like the whole channel to be about. There's a reason why I call it Light of Polaris. Polaris is being the North Star. So it's all about like finding our own North Star and following it and doing it in a way that is aligned with who we are, with our true nature, our true being, and not in a way of forcing and pressuring and pushing through, but actually moving through life in a joyful and sustainable way. And that is just true to our true nature and aligned with our true nature. And I believe with all my heart that this is actually possible to do that. And I'm grateful that we are here to walk this path and explore this path together. So with that being said, I hope this finds you. If it's meant for you and that it resonates, I would love to hear from you as always. And yeah, I'm so excited to see where this is bringing us, where this is leading us, and also what can come from this collective that is already gathering here and hopefully will continue to grow. I can erase the hopefully. I know that we will keep growing, and yeah, I'm just hoping that this is finding you whenever you need it. So thanks again for being here, for co-creating this message by also putting your energy in here. And yeah, I wish you a beautiful day wherever you are, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next message. Until then, take care.